Welcome back to the channel everyone. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fine. So this was a very long due project because I would not be traveling basically for a few months. So I thought of creating this kind of a travel content video where I'll be able to talk more about travel and help you guys to plan your particular vacation or your holidays. And what else could be a better place to travel this winter in Rajasthan. So if you haven't been to Rajasthan, then this has to be on your bucket list, because in this winter you can definitely plan your travel to Rajasthan. So this kind of video is going to be more about how you'll be able to plan your travel and what are the places to see, how you'll be able to reach over there. So let's get into it. To start with, Rajasthan basically is divided into two categories. First, which is Marwar, and second it is the Mewar. So Marwar is basically more desert prone area, and Mewar is basically the non-desert area. So basically, even by flight or by road or by train, you'll be able to enter into Rajasthan. Jaisalmer has a very newly developed airport, but it is many times at the construction level. So apart from Jaisalmer, Jodhpur, Udaipur and Jaipur has a very good flight connectivity. So if you're planning your trip towards Rajasthan, then you can select Jaipur or Udaipur as one of the main hub in order to enter, and from there you can plan your itinerary for the part. If you're trying to travel into Rajasthan by road, you can there are a lot of connections available. You can either start from the south, you can enter into Rajasthan from Mount Abu, or you can even enter into Rajasthan by Jaipur. And even with respect to the train, there are a lot of railway junctions which are there in Rajasthan. So all the major basic cities have very good connectivity with respect to even all the railway stations in India. Coming to the next point, which is the duration. So as I said, there would be two kinds of itineraries that you'll be able to plan. If you want to exclusively travel towards the Marwar part, then you have to start your journey from Jaipur. Then you can travel till Bikaner. From there you'll be able to travel towards Jaisalmer. Then you can end your journey in Jodhpur. This comes to the northern part of Rajasthan, which is the Marwar part. Coming on to the second part, which is the southern part, you can start your journey from Jaipur. You can on the way first cover Ajmer. If you are having more time, you can even cover Ranthambore. Then further you will be able to travel till Udaipur. From Udaipur you can further travel towards Mount Abu, and you can end your journey till Ahmedabad, because from Mount Abu you can even return back towards Udaipur, or the next part that you can do is you can end your journey in Ahmedabad. If you are having a very long time, like if you are having more than like 14 to 15 days, then you can cover this entire route. Either you can start from Ahmedabad, then Mount Abu, then Udaipur, then on the way you can cover Chittorgarh, then you can go towards Ajmer Pushkar, covering Jaipur, then you can cover Bikaner, Jaisalmer, and then you can end into Jodhpur. So minimum, if you are specifically traveling to a particular sector, then I would suggest you should be minimum having like 7 to 8 nights each. Or if you are having like a span of around 15 to 16 days, you will be able to cover the entire Rajasthan full-fledgedly. Going down further in detail with respect to the number of night stays. Now again, it totally depends on how much time you want to spend in each particular location, but according to me, starting with the Mewar part, Mount Abu you would be able to cover in maximum 1 night. Then Udaipur I would be able to suggesting you like more 2 nights to 3 nights. The next city, which is Ajmer and Pushkar, I think so only 1 night is totally enough. Then after that, coming on to the next city, which is Jaipur, you should have like minimum 2 nights over there if you are having a good flight connectivity. And as I said, if you even want to cover Ranthambore, then you should be having another night stay in Jaipur. Bikaner basically acts like a breakthrough journey when you're traveling between Jaipur and Jaisalmer. So Bikaner, I think only 1 night is totally enough. Then the next city, which is Jaisalmer, I would be suggesting you that if you want to stay inside the tents, which is in the tent city, you can in the dunes, basically the sand dunes, you can have 1 night stay over there, and you can have a separate night stay even inside the Jaisalmer city as well. And lastly, to end with the blue city, which is the city of Jodhpur, I think so minimum 2 nights stay is totally enough. With respect to all the USPs, one of the best thing about Rajasthan is that it is very well diverse with respect to the culture, with respect to the entire sightseeing. So you'll be able to find a lot of forts, a lot of cultural point of view, and also with respect to the historic point of view, there are innumerable places which gives you a very beautiful experience with respect after knowing the history of that place. So and even with respect to the architecture point of view, this is one of the best states that you would be able to visit in this winter. As I said, obviously in this winter it is the best time to travel. In particularly in the summers, like in May, definitely you would not be wanting to be in a position where you are stuck in the desert, right? Exactly in the middle of the summers. So starting from like end of November till like end of Feb or first week of March, I would suggest that it would be the best time to travel in Rajasthan. Accommodation is something that is person to person. So I would be suggesting you that if you are a kind of a backpacker, then you can straight away head off for hostels or hostels. Hostel property are basically there now throughout the India, and for many solo travelers as well, hostel has been a very good way of traveling, and a very good way of solo traveling without paying extra charge of the single occupancy in any kind of normal hotels. So hostels is one of the part if you're basically backpacking. Secondly, homestays, but very less amount of homestays, because as compared to any other destination in India, homestays are very less compared in Rajasthan. Third option is obviously the hotels, like starting from a 2 to 3 star hotel till 4 to 5 star hotel. There are a variety of hotel options which you will be able to get into Rajasthan. And lastly, it is the luxury hotels. So basically, luxury is something which is very attractive in the coming few years, because there are a lot of palaces which are there in Rajasthan, which are considered as the heritage palaces, and there are also few forts which are now turned into hotels and into some luxury hotels. So definitely, if you want to get a feeling that you are staying in a kind of palace, then the luxury hotel options is what you can opt for now. So that is all with respect to the hotels point of view. So that is all for the travel video, guys. This is a very new experiment for me, and do let me know how the entire experiment is, and if any other destination within India that you want me to make a video on how you can plan your video, a video like this, you can let me know in the comment section below. So thank you so much for watching until here. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed it yet, and as always, keep traveling.